Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I think I've forgotten where we stopped. Let me just check. Gyaneshwari 1268. Okay. So we are in Gyaneshwari Bhagavad Gita by Gyaneshwar Maharaj, chapter 18, verse number 57. We are going to start, and in the previous verse we saw
Swami, 57 we finished, Swami.
57 we didn't finish. 56 we finished. Chetasa sarva karmani mai sanyasya matparaha buddhi yoga mupashritya matchitta satatam bhava. This is
That
the one we did
last week, Swami. That we did last week.
That is the 50. That we did 57th verse. Okay. Okay, that one we did. Right. Okay. So that one, Chetasa sarva karmani mai sanyasya matparaha. He says that you surrender your mind, you resign your mind completely, or resigning, I should say, surrendering all work mentally to me. We usually take ownership, we take the authority that I am doing it, I am saying it, I am a self-made person, so on and so forth. Here clearly he is saying that you thinking that all work is inspired by me, maintained by me, concluded by me, and the result also is by me alone. With this mental attitude, you function in your life, and this will only be possible when you make me your goal. Only then it is possible. And then it says Buddhi yoga upashritya. Ashritya means taking refuge. Buddhi yogam. So taking refuge in the yoga of Buddhi yoga. Meaning, what is Buddhi yoga? Buddhi yoga is it is not the body yoga, 64 different asanas. It is not the yoga of pranayam. It is not the yoga of the senses, control the senses. No, Buddhi yoga, the yoga of Buddhi is to discriminate, to make the correct decision every moment. While listening, let listening take place. But where Buddhi decides, is it available to the sounds that are coming? Meaning you are surrendering to the sensory perceptions, or the Buddhi decides that what is the constant principle because of which the sense perceptions are possible? That possibility is only in the buddhi, not in the senses, not in the mind, not at the body level, not at the breath. So intellectual doesn't mean you become a great doctor, become a great scientist, become all that is all right. Worldly sense, it is okay. From a scriptural point of view, from spiritual approach point of view, buddhi is for only one person, per purpose, to discriminate between constant and changing. Everything else is let it go. For that, you have gone to Harvard, or you are you have never gone to school. It does not matter. Point is, are we employing our thinking ability, contemplative ability, discriminating ability to contemplate on, to think about? Yoga means what? To think about the constant one. Yoga means what? To yoke. Are you yoked? Is your buddhi yoked to the outside, or is your buddhi yoked, Y-O-K-E-D, yoked to the self? That will be the discrimination. Every moment, every moment. So that this is possible, so that our buddhi, it will be able to do more and more. It will be yoked to the self, or here Bhagwan is saying, yoke it to me. So that mind, the intellect is continuously thinking. Initially, it will not be like that. But when we do karma, sarva karmani bola hai isne, all work. So when we do all work with this attitude, purification will happen. Then there is no regrets, then there is no expectations, then there is nothing, no sukha, dukkha, gain, loss, success, failure, all is at his feet. He is only running everything. He is only prompting everything. See? This will lead to the next verse. This is what we saw last week. This will lead to year 57. We started, I think. 57. So he said what? With the elimination of all actions, only the self will remain behind, and your intellect will become united with him like a chaste wife. So when your intellect will enter me with unswerving devotion, then your mind will resort to me, casting off the other objects of thought. So you should act in such a way that your mind will give up all other thoughts and remain steady in me. This capacity, this ability is available with you at this very moment. You practice it every day. At a very, very gross level, your entire activity is prompted by the convictions that we have. If our conviction is, I am the head of the family, I have to take care of the family, I have to take care of the children, I have to take care of my parents, all your activity, that conviction drives all your actions. One person came from India, they told me their story, and he came to a very poor family, didn't even have a proper meal to eat. But somehow he studied, he got a job, he got a chance to come to Australia, even though it was difficult for him to come away from and leaving the family behind like that. But he thought that he will come here and he will be able to help them with the money that he can earn. So what is making him travel, what is making him migrate, what is making him. Then he started a business here in Melbourne and everything. Now he's starting a startup in India. See? Now he's employing his brother to work there. So all this coming from another person met me. Just he said, Swamiji, when are you going to Char Dham? I said, यार देखेंगे कब जाना है, अगले साल, अभी तो नहीं. So he, and I don't know, he says, Swamiji, you are doing a great job, this, that, मेरे को क्या करना है सुना के. So in the end he said, I am also studying Bhagavad Gita from some Marathi Guruji in Maharashtra and all that. And I don't know why he opened up. Suddenly he says, you know, my friend who is staying with you, was staying a few years ago, who was staying with me, with you, my mother was the servant in their house. And they helped me educate and everything, and that's my connection. See? And now both, that man who used to live here once upon a time and this fellow, they go for pilgrimages, their spiritual journeys together. They are brothers in arms, you know. What I'm saying here, all actions are prompted by the convictions that we harbor within ourselves. Here, the Lord is saying that use your discriminative ability, use your Buddhi Yoga, use your Buddhi to yoke. Yoke means to unite. Unite is with whom? With me. How do you do that? The beginning stage, surrender, mentally surrender all actions to me. Now, it more clearly nobody can tell us. Yeah, you are all nodding, but when it comes to implementing, ego comes up. But it's okay. Keep remembering, keep coming back, keep coming back, keep coming back. If not 1 week, if not 1 month, if not 1 year, slowly, slowly, slowly. Depends how stubborn you are. Stubborn you means the ego is. If it is not too stubborn, how do you know if an ego is stubborn or not? If the thumb touches this part, very flexible ego. Mind doesn't go even from little bit, very strong ego. This is what in school we used to say. And one day I wanted to kill my ego and I pushed it, it dislocated. See? So Buddhi Yoga, what was it? Buddhi Yogam Upashritya, taking refuge in the Buddhi Yoga. Mat Chitta Satatam Bhava, Mat Chittam. Continuously revel in me, continuously remain in union with me. Buddhi Yoga is, because Buddhi is thinking of the Lord, remain. How do you do it? See, one thing I told you, that all your convictions determine your work. Now think another way. This is only in the world, to gain, to success, to relationships, this, that. Your Buddhi decides, or decides what? When it comes to discrimination, it is by grace that initially we think, but to stay, to keep that Buddhi continuously tethered to the divine, it is by grace. But we have to keep trying. Because divine is always. So just like that, sleep also comes. When we have become tired throughout the day, we get the sleep comes, and the Buddhi says, sleep, 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 and all activities of yours are determined by that. Because why? The mind or the Buddhi wants to surrender to sleep. It does not want to think anymore. It does not want to see, hear, touch, feel, taste anymore. It does not want to feel anymore. Isn't it? So what happens? Before, it was convinced I have to do the duty, I have to maintain the family, I have to do this, I have to do profession, etc. Now the Buddhi is convinced that it has to go to sleep, or it is thinking about the sleep. So what does it want? Buddhi Yoga. What is Buddhi Yoga? Buddhi is wanting union with sleep. What are all actions happening? What are the actions? All activity is slowly slowing down, isn't it? When you go to sleep. And once you go to sleep, what happens? Is there a thought of the world? No. Is there a thought of the body? No. Is there a thought of I am breathing or not breathing? No. Is there a thought of thinking? Thought or no thought? No. Is there a thought of that I am a waker, dreamer, sleeper? No. Is there a thought of God? No. Is there a thought that I am? No. This leads us to the next verse. What does it say? Matchitta sarva durgani mat prasadatarishya. Together. Together means follow. Matchitta sarva durgani Matchitta sarva durgani mat prasadatarishasi mat prasadatarishasi अथ चेत्वमहङ्कारान् न श्रोष्यसि विनङ्क्ष्यसि together मच्चित्त सर्वदुर्गाणि मत्प्रसादात्तरिष्यसि अथ चेत्वमहङ्कारान् न श्रोष्यसि विनङ्क्ष्यसि. In the 58th verse, he says, thinking of me, you will surmount all obstacles through my grace, but if you through egoism will not listen, you will perish. Chalo. Now understand one thing, what happens. Just now I gave you the example of sleep. What happens? What is the condition in the sleep of your mind? What is the condition of the mind in sleep? Zero. Correct? Another word for zero, nirvikalpa. Correct? But do you know? No. Therefore, it is called sleep. When we surrender all work with that attitude and take refuge in the Buddhi Yoga, when he says that when the intellect completely surrenders to the Lord, then the activities will have no sway over the intellect. What will be the condition when intellect surrenders to the divine theme? What will be the condition? Will it be how we are interacting right now with you and me? Or will it be like surrender means like we have surrendered to the sleep, but consciously, isn't it? Surrender necessarily requires non-involvement in anything except the one you have surrendered to. And that is the grace that he is talking about. He pulls, you start the Buddhi Yoga. But he will catch you from inside. And therefore he says that, and as we think, where is our energy going? Most of the people, where is the energy going? Energy is going in survival, energy is going in securing your life through superannuation, through investment, through what did you, through properties. Someone told me, I don't have a property, but someone told me, the information comes that the government is thinking of inheritance tax. Like in some countries, when someone passes away, when the parents pass away, the children inherit the property or the money, whatever is in the bank. 40% of the money the government will take. Now what you will do? For 40 years you have been working hard for my children, for my children, for my children. Everything is for my children. In the name of children, you have been fooling yourself. And the government is waiting. Acha bhai, the interest rate is going up. We have taken $1 trillion loan. We have to clear that. Where does the money come from? How many properties you have? Le lo tax sara. What we are trying to do? We are trying to hold the world which can never be held. We want to hold the health, we want to hold the memories, we want to hold the children. That's why mothers still talk about their children as my pappu, my chuttu, my kanna, my kuttu. How old is he? 50, 60 years old. Why? They have not grown up. They are not matured. Their attention is on the outside. The child has grown. But the mother still thinks, my puttu, my chotu. See? So there are no, I keep repeating this, I'll keep repeating it. There are no constant solutions possible in the changing world. This must go deep into our system, into our intellect. And that's what we are trying. We are trying to hold on to the world which was yesterday, we have brought it today. What is today, we want to take it tomorrow. We want to plan, blah, blah, everything. But if you are a spiritual seeker, you have done what has to be done. Okay, ठीक है, हो गया अभी. Switch off. And put all your, if you single-pointedly you are able to create this for yourself, now single-pointedly come to discover that ability is there in you. Use it. That's why you are listening to the satsang. Put it in the right direction. Recognize that the mind hoodwinked you for all your life. Now by grace of God, the scriptures have come. The satsang is going on. There is an aptitude within you also, because there are no external pressures. Children have grown up. They are having their own life. But some people don't listen. They still interfere in their children's life. Do this, do that. Instead, be selfish for a change. Not with respect, with reference to the world. With reference to the divine, which is lurking within you, which is you, but has not come to the forefront. It will only come to the forefront when you give it attention. That is Buddhi Yoga. See? And when we think about Him, when our Buddhi is again and again coming closer to the divine theme, the constant one. Here Bhagavan says, thinking of me, you will surmount all obstacles through my grace. Is it not true? All the problems of the world, all the pains in the bodies, all the regrets and anxieties of the regrets of the past, anxieties of the future, all of them have been taken away when you surrender to sleep. Hari means har lena. Who is Hari? इंग्लिश में क्या बोलते हैं हरने को? Takes away. Takes away? Or is there another word for it?
Snatches away.
Huh?
Snatches away.
Snatches away. Okay, snatches away. ये रजसिक फेलो है. Takes away, snatches away. But what does Hari, what does he do the har of? The last word in Hari is I. He snatches away the I. The one who snatches away the I is Hari. Some masters used to say, Hari home. This is hurrying home. The true self. And the Lord helps us in that. So thinking of me, you will surmount. So when I itself is not there, who was giving value and importance and ownership for all the variety, the world, the changing world, if I itself is not there, if it has surrendered and merged into the source, where is the question of obstacles? Okay, that's the end game. What about while we are still thinking and there's still situations in the world which are demanding our attention? Don't take ownership of the situation. Again, discriminate, those are the moments where we test our resolve. We take again Buddhi Yogam Upashraya. Take the refuge in the Buddhi Yoga and make the Buddhi to surrender to the Lord. Think of the Lord. Contemplate on the Lord. The outside, which is important only when you give it value and attention. When you are not available as an individual, not available to the outside, it loses its value. It loses its nuisance value. I should say that. If the mother is giving attention to the small child, mami, 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 he says, I want bread. She makes the bread. Oh, I don't feel like bread. I want pasta. She makes pasta. I don't want pasta. I want raw carrot. Mother is making the mother go run around everywhere. Nuisance value is increasing because she is giving it. How long can a mother give in like that? Some are foolish, they keep giving it. And they call that love. But a smart mother, she doesn't give him whatever he wants. I have made this, you want to eat, you eat. Otherwise, you can remain hungry. Within 2-3 days, that child will come into his senses. Because how long can he? Initially, that child might not eat. Out of anger, out of frustration, how can mom do this to me? But when the hunger comes, then the child doesn't think it is good or not good, I like it or don't like it. He just wants to fill up the tummy. Then the right food goes in. So now what has happened? The nuisance value has been checked. So the world giving attention to the world increases the nuisance value of the world. The child's nuisance value increases when mother gives in too much to the demands of the child. But if she comes, hey, I cannot live like this, I have to work, I have to do this, I have to do as I say. This is discrimination. So when you say, hey, till today, by following the world, I'm just shunting between waking, dream, deep sleep, nothing is permanent, why am I thinking this? You have to come to the conclusion. And what are these masters always contemplating on? What is this constant principle? Who is this God principle? What is this divine? Give attention. It cannot be outside me. Constant principle cannot be outside me. It is me. Oh, outside, how do I? Oh, the world is changing, but the space is constant. But the waking space, dream space, deep sleep space keeps changing. But the mind is constant. Mind keeps changing. The I is constant. The I thought comes and goes with every thought. The self, the eternal witness, that's the constant one. Come back to be that. This we have to remind ourselves again and again and again. If not, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Chant it with this attitude that this chanting is also being prompted by him alone. Not I am chanting. फिर गए काम से. So Gyaneshwari Maharaj says, then he says, but if you through egoism, atha chetvam ahankaran na shroshyasi vinangshasi, if you through egoism, through ahankar will not listen, then vinangshasi, you are going to perish, man. What is perishing? What is perishing? Perishing is succumbing to birth and death. That is perishing. You will miss the opportunity to be immortal. You will miss, that is one stage, totality. You will miss the opportunity to be liberated. That is the higher one. If you don't follow this. If you still live in the egoism, that who is this Swami telling me? Who is this Gita? मैंने सबको धोके डाला है, इसको भी धो दूंगा. 1000 बार मैंने सुना है. I know this master, I know that master. I eat on the same table with them. I go for, I am pally with them. All that has got no standing when it comes to surrendering, taking refuge in the constant principle. All of them, all the good things, all the masters have come, scriptures have come only to help us to begin this Buddhi Yoga of yoking to the self, yoking to the divine. If by studying all these scriptures it has not happened, we have lost the opportunity. If by meeting the great masters, whoever have come into your life, if that has not helped us to yoke our buddhi to the divine principle, we have lost the opportunity. Every time you go to the temple and looking at the beautiful or ornamented Balaji or Lord Shiva or Devi, doing the pilgrimage, etc., and it has not shifted your attention to the divine principle, you have lost that opportunity. We have Because I am doing the pilgrimage. I am doing the archana. I paid $100 for doing the archana. I am doing the Satyanarayan Puja. I bought the Makara Kundal for the Lord. I bought the what do you call Kirita, the crown for the Lord. It's a ego trip, man. You give or don't give. Does the Lord care? He only cares for the attitude with which you are giving. Where is your heart? Where is your heart? What is the bhava? So he says, Gyaneshwar Maharaj says, Mag abhinna iya seva chittam yanchi bharel jedhava माझा प्रसादू जाणते धवा संपूर्ण जाहला तेथ सकळ दुःख धामे भुंजी जती जिये मृत्यू जन्मे तिये दुर्गमेची सुगमे होती तुझ सु. He says, when your mind becomes united with me through wholehearted devotion, then you will have attained my grace in full. Then all the miseries of birth and death, which every human being has to undergo, all the hard to overcome, will conduce to your happiness. That means you are not susceptible to it. Or even if they are there, you are not affected by it. Why? Because your mind is sitting in divine. The phenomena will continue. But where are you? Are you the phenomenal or are you the real? Phenomenal is changing, real is changeless, constant. What do you consider yourself to be at this very moment? The changing or the changeless? The interim step to be the changeless, because it's nirgun nirakar, it's formless, attributeless self. In between is the Lord. Take His support, take His refuge, let Him give you the vision, let Him open up your third eye, let Him take care of all the obstacles. Gadipati Bappa Moria, Mangalamurti Moria. He is the remover of obstacles. Why only Ganpati? Every god is remover of obstacles. Then why Ganpati, they say? Because you want variety. So God made Himself into many. Acha yaar, this particular form is an obstacle remover. This particular form is the creator principle. This particular form is the maintenance principle. This particular form is the destroyer principle. You want variety, so He has to... He is everything. But what is the basic requirement? Wholehearted devotion, complete surrender, complete refuge. Then he says, then all the miseries of birth and death, all this business of reincarnation. Just yesterday, I don't know why, from where it comes, how the Google comes to know or YouTube comes to know.
Alert from no backups for 422 days.
Yes, I'm not backing up anything. And the present queen of Bhutan, her daughter's son, he's a 3-4 year old baby. He made the mother or the queen mother go to Bihar. He sits in the mudra of Buddha in meditation at that age. And he made them go to Nalanda University, which is in ruins now. And he's recognizing things there. First they thought it was just a joke, this, that. Why I'm telling you all this? Reincarnation. Are we here studying Bhagavad Gita? नहीं यार, इस जन्म में तो सिर्फ मैंने selfish life, I lived a life of selfishness. I think I will be born again and next life I will do a lot of altruistic activities. No, that is not your purpose. If you think like that, then that will happen. But if you have got the freedom to think, practice Buddhi Yoga. We fixated on the constant principle or the divine principle. But with bhav, with devotion, with faith, with commitment. And that commitment is not a momentary one. No, now whatever the days are left, I lived in this world fully. Now I want to live for the divine fully. This commitment till the last breath, it must be invoked. It must be invoked. If not, if you don't invoke it, what will happen? Ego has got only one job. What is it? To get involved in the world. Waking, dream, sleep. Waking, dream, sleep. Waking, dream, sleep. So here he is saying that then all the miseries of birth and death which every human being has to undergo, although hard to overcome, will conduce to your happiness. Because you are available, your buddhi is available only to the divine principle. And what is the nature of divine principle? Let me see if you are thinking as I am thinking. We are talking about, with reference to the topic,
the divine principle is constant, Swamiji.
It is constant. What else?
Nirvikalpa.
What else?
Unchanging.
It is everything. So divine is everything. If you surrender to the divine, will you be aware? Will whatever is happening in the phenomenal world, will it have an impact on you?
No.
Because you are not available to the phenomena. You are available to the constant one. And the nature of constant one is ekameva dvitiya. Or at the totality level, the nature of the constant one, of the Lord Ishvara, is that I am the upadan karan and I am the nimitta karan, I am the material cause and the efficient cause of the creation. His nature is Satchidanand Swarup. From his point of view, the whole creation, whole phenomena is also nothing but Satchidanand Swarup. So where is the question of obstacle after that? You understand the angle of approach which I was taking? This is overhauling yourself. There are no answers in the world. And from the divine standpoint, there are no answers required only. Because there are no questions there. Questions are for the ego. Obstacles are for the ego. Seeking is also for the ego. But which ego? Discriminative. Use it to the proper use. If that is the faculty that is there and you are that, use it for the proper use. Continuing, सूर्याचे निसावाये डोळा सावायला होय, ते अंधाराचा आहे पाडूतया, तैसा माझे नि प्रसादे. तैसा माझे नि प्रसादे, जीव कणू जयाचा उपमर्दे, तो संसाराचे नि बाधे बागुले केवी. म्हणवनी धनंजया तू संसार दुर्गतीया, तरसील माझिया प्रसादास्तव. अथवा हन अहम भावे माझे बोलणे हे आघवे, काना मनाची शिवे नेदिसी टेको. तरी नित्यमुक्त अव्ययो तू आहासी ते होऊनी वाचो, देह संबंधाचा घावो वाजेल अंगी. जया देह संबंधा आतू प्रतिपदी आत्मघातू, भुंजता उसंतू कहीची नाही. ये वढे दारुणे निमणे नवीन निमणे, पढेल जरी बोलणे नेघसी माझे. He says, Gyaneshwar Maharaj is saying in his commentary, who will care for darkness if his vision receives the support of sunlight? What is the divine? Of the nature of light. What is divine? Where darkness is not possible. And once you have, that is the third eye that Arjuna was blessed with. Who will care for darkness? What is darkness? Answer, I am asking, what is darkness?
Absence of light.
Okay, very technical. What else?
Ignorance.
Ignorance. What else? Get your thinking caps on. What is ignorance? What is darkness?
Misery.
Misery is darkness. What else?
Birth and death.
Good. What else?
Duality.
Duality is darkness. What else?
Other than divinity.
Other. Very good. Other than divinity. Another
That's
word.
good.
The changing is darkness. The phenomenal is darkness because it's existing in its own absence. That's the expression of ignorance. You understand? So think. This purposely I'm doing this brainstorming here, so that you don't just stay with absence of light, or no, get the entire understanding of the word darkness. All these are synonyms. Manasa vacha kaya, that is darkness. See? So once the ego has recognized it is of the nature of light, that it is the reflection of the original. The I comes through the surrender, comes to realize, hey, I and the original are one. What was the ego trying till now? Till this realization, what was the ego doing? It was taking ownership. It was trying to establish itself with more and more relationships with the phenomenal. It was trying to make a place for itself in this world. It was trying to establish itself. It was trying to secure itself. It was trying to possess the world. Why? Why? Only because it did not know that by nature it is complete.
ignorance.
Only because it did not know that by nature it is of the nature of light. It doesn't need to go after the darkness. It doesn't need to go after the changing. So here Gyaneshwar Maharaj is saying, once you have come to know that you are of the nature of light, will you care for the darkness? Will you care for the changing? Will you care for the unreal? है ना मजेदार? But this is possible only when this is complete solution of your life. For such a person, there are no obstacles, there is no birth and death. Why? The Buddhi is continuously at the feet of the divine, continuously contemplating on the constant principle. And by the grace of the constant principle or the divine principle, the transformation of the vision comes about. When the vision is transformed, then the experience is also divine. See? Who will care for darkness if his vision receives the support of sunlight? In the same way, how will he who has lost his body consciousness through my grace be afraid of the goblin in the form of worldly affairs? Worldly affairs is goblin. Goblin मतलब क्या बोलेंगे हिंदी में, मेरे को पता नहीं है. The ghost of worldly affairs, ऐसे बोल लो. They lure you. They lure all the worldly things, they lure you to themselves, and then you get entangled in them. Like someone came and they said, Swamiji, we have missed you when I was in Sydney. I said, okay, I also missed you. और क्या बोलूँगा मैं? And then I'm coming for Swamiji. I said, come. You have not, 1 month they have not seen me. So they came, took me for a walk. And in that whole walk, only crying and complaining and crying and complaining about the world, about the family, about the children, about the extended family. I said, यार मेरा 2 घंटे खराब कर दिया ऐसे. Is that our purpose? Is that why we are here on earth? And they are complaining every time, every 10-15 sentences. Is this our culture? Is this our culture? Is this our culture? I said, Amma, God has given you the authority that you are the protector of the culture. Impose the culture on their children and practice nothing in their life. In the same way, how will he who has lost his body consciousness through my grace be afraid of the goblin in the form of worldly affairs? I gave you that example of the lady, that, why lady? My example, that I got lured out of compassion to be taken for, I said, okay, let's go for a walk. What did I get? Only download. Coffee भी नहीं पिलाई. So you give the world one finger to hold, they will take your whole arm. You give charity $1, they'll keep sending so many letters that they want more. End ही नहीं है. Then you wonder, Where do they get the money to send all the letters again and again, 10 times a year? You give a finger, they will hold the arm. What happens then? You get entangled. You tell someone, poor fellow, chalo, let me go and help him. Gone. फंस गए उसके अंदर. Stay aloof. Let the world sort itself out. What do you mean by world sort itself out? That which is phenomenal, how can it sort itself out? It is not there only in the first place. Does the dream world sort itself out? It just vanishes. We are pulling the yesterday's world into today's world. Once you, at the I, surrenders at the feet of the divine, the world will sort itself out, means it will vanish. It will not be available to you the way you know it. Transformed vision. This is hazy vision. This is clear vision. But what is this doing? Before, it was hazy. I could not see anyone's face. I can't read anything. Now, the phenomenal world has become clear. It's a problem. It's not a blessing. Huh? So we don't want to wear the glasses which make the phenomena seem real. We want to wear the divine glasses. That is the third eye. That is the divine grace. And when we wear those glasses, the whole world will be divine. Such people are saints and sages who are still living. Many of them are there even today. And here he says one very important point, and that is that how will he who has lost his body consciousness through my grace, when you are asleep, because sleep is also grace only. Many people are not able to sleep. But if you are able to sleep, you are dead to the world. Is the phenomenal world having an impact on you? Are you worried? How many people are dying? How many bombs are falling? How many ships are sinking? How many people are dying with cancer? How many people have gone hungry in the world? This is about the world. There is a flood going on. Oh my God, poor people, that they lost their house, they got nothing to eat and drink. Oh my God, I want to give donation, $2. And after that, all this news you see and you express solidarity with them and go to sleep nicely. What a hypocrite. Think how cold we have become. But somewhere, I am taking it in a different way, but somewhere ठीक है यार, दुनिया ऐसी चलती है. I don't have the power to bring about a change. If I keep thinking about it, I will also get into some trouble. Let me go to sleep. Why? There's nothing to think there. Nothing to work out. I don't have to give any donation. I don't have to think of miseries when I'm sleeping. There's nothing there. The world is available to us because of body consciousness. When we say body, it's not only the physical body, the panchakoshas. In that, the Annamaya Kosh, the gross body, Pranamaya Kosh, the breath body, the Manomaya Kosh, the mind body, and Vijnanmaya Kosh, the intellectual body, and the base of it is the Anandamaya Kosh, which is the zero body. Ignorance. It's a big hypnosis. Only through, and many people want to come out of this hypnosis by studying themselves. Forget it. It requires grace. Grace of, again, I'll repeat it hundreds of times. Grace of what? Grace of the Lord. Grace of the scriptures. Grace of the Guru. And last, the grace of the Atma Bala. Ishvara's grace comes in our life as scripture. But we can't understand it correctly. So we need a guru to teach that. Then doubts come. Just like in Arjuna's mind, so many doubts came. That even after seeing your Chaturbhuj form, still my mind is not calm. In the 16th, 17th chapter. Then what is he doing? He is invoking his Atma Bala. That yes, I can do it. I can come to surrender. I can take refuge. Ego wants to belong somewhere. Over lifetimes it has belonged to the world, the phenomena. It has to be trained systematically in a disciplined manner to belong to the divine. That is its reformation. That will bring about. What is that? That will bring about this losing the body consciousness. And many people who are meditating, either you are in Savikalpa Samadhi or in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, you are body disidentified. In Savikalpa Samadhi, you are not body disidentified because the thought is still there. Your japa is there. Savikalp means samadhi with a thought. Nirvikalpa means samadhi without a thought. So when we have surrendered to the divine and no thought fluctuation is going on in the mind, we are awake, but the mind is absolutely quiet. Or I have seen people, eyes are open, the world is going on. Sometimes it has happened to you also probably, or you can see it in small children. Eyes are open, the world is going on, but nothing is registering. Nirvikalpa. Mahatmas are continuously living like that. Because there is no owner that this is my body. Child also is like that, but he doesn't know it. He is not conscious of it. Therefore, O Arjuna, you will be able to escape from the evil trap of worldly existence. See how harsh words he is using. We say world is beautiful, my children, my car, my clothes, my silk clothes, my Kolhapuri sari, my Banarsi sari, silk sari. And what is this? Evil trap. Evil. Understand one thing. Again, I am coming to general principle. What is a thought? I'm asking.
Impressions.
Huh?
Impressions.
What is a thought in impression? Okay. But what is in its womb? Objectivity. Thought can only be of an object, gross, subtle, causal. Okay?
Yep.
That itself, according to scriptures, is sin. If you can take it in, good. Thinking itself is an expression of ignorance.
Yes.
Oh, don't go from even if you want to see the Amrit Anubhav, there also words devalued, isn't it?
Yes.
Every night where you get happiness, when your mind has become zero, only then you get the bliss of sleep. Otherwise you can't. Even one corruption of one thought is enough for rebirth. And what is rebirth? Darkness. And what is the thought about? Thought is always about some object. Some object.
Swamiji, is thought equal to desire?
Yes, you can put it that way. Thought will lead to desire. Thought is a desire, whichever way. But it will keep you in the loop of the world. And as long as you are in the mind thinking, you are not surrendered to the divine. And therefore, understand now, as I am saying, therefore, we begin with thinking, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. But what is the procedure? Vaikhari, Madhyama, Pashyanti, Para. What is happening? From gross to subtle, subtle to causal, causal to transcendental, which is silence. That is the paripakvata, that is the maturity of the sound. That is the maturity of the thinking. That is the maturity of the japa, if done with the proper orientation. If it is done the way it was told here, how to do that? Mat chitta chetasa sarva karmani mayi sanyasya mat paraha. All paths are telling you, take Ashtanga Yoga, it is also taking you to Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi only. You take Kundalini, it's also taking you there only. You take Kriya Yoga, it is taking you there only. Every path is taking you there only. Upanishads are taking you there, Bhagavad Gita is taking you there. You take Durga Saptashati, she is also taking you there only. All those Rakshasas are who? They are only all the ghosts in your mind. All the thought fixations, the various desires, obsessions, those are all those Rakshasas, Madhu, Kaitava, Chand, Munda, जो कुछ भी है, हाँ, अलग अलग नाम है उनके, महिषासुर. Therefore, Arjuna, you will be able to escape from the evil trap of worldly existence, because in worldly existence there are no solutions possible. In worldly existence, happiness is far, 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 far away. For few moments of happiness, we live a long life of misery. In expectation of the happiness, we go through the miseries. Some people get it, some people don't get it. But why do we go on that journey? Because we have forgotten that we are of the nature of happiness. You have heard this many times. But the day it will click, your life will be unstoppable. Your inward journey will be unstoppable. And many people come even here also many people that they say we are not interested, automatically they're becoming introverted rather than extroverted. It is a natural procedure because they have been listening to satsang, they are practicing their sadhana, they are doing their japa. There are many others who are doing the same thing, but nothing is happening. Why? They are doing it externally. So let the external happen, but with the inner orientation, with the introvertedness, with the Buddhi Yoga. Take refuge in that, even right now while you are listening. But if you, now the opposite picture is being given. But if you out of ahankar, what did he say? Atha chetvam ahankaran na shroshyasi vinangshasi. But if out of egoism you will not listen to my words, Bhagavan is saying, if out of egoism you will not listen to my words or pay attention to my teaching, then even if you are eternally free and imperishable, that will be of no avail to you, and you will have to bear the buffet deal dealt by the body. By the body. So Bhagwan is giving a warning here. It's only to wake us up. It's only to help the seeker to make a final decision in his life. That enough is enough of involving in the world. Enough is enough. And he says, if you don't listen to me and don't follow, if you don't listen to my words or pay attention to my teaching, then what is the consequence of that? Because we are on an ego trip. I am, who is this Krishna who is telling me he's my cousin and is throwing big ones? Huh? Ego. Then what will happen? Bhagavan is saying, Krishna is saying, even if you are of the nature of imperishable, you are of imperishable nature, the self, even by being that imperishable nature, you are eternally free, but it is not accessible by you. You are not able to be that. Ego is available only to the world. Ego is established only by objectivity. It will be of no avail to you, and you will have to bear the buffet dealt by the body, meaning you will be at the mercy of what the world is throwing at you. What is it throwing? Day, night, waking, dreaming, sleeping, past, present, future. My individuality. Oh, I have to go to the total. Oh, please, Bhagwan, help me. Why did you forsake me?
Duality.
Pain, health, all duality. Health and no health. Success and failure, gain and loss. World is continuous. If you, wherever the ego is, this is its normal biography. And what is the biography of the self? What is the biography of the self? No biography, because it is all that there is. It is all that there is. देखो मजेदार देखो, how we have made a fool out of ourselves. You will suffer from self-destruction at every step in the bodily actions and will have hardly even a moment's respite from agony. We are all in that boat, isn't it? Pain here, pain there, pain everywhere. The body pain affects the mind. Then mind is also, because body doesn't feel the pain. You feel the pain only in the mind. And mind is, the ego is saying, this is my mind. So he is the sufferer. And where is ego? Does not exist. But he has, if he is not ready to come to the final solution, to recognize that that is surrender to the divine, Krishna is saying, if you maintain your ego and you do not follow the diktats that I have presented here, the rules of engagement that I have narrated, then the only thing you will get is misery in life. Will have hardly even a moment's respite from agony. If you do not pay any heed to what I say, you will have to face dreadful torments of a living death. नहीं, मैंने बहुत पुण्य किया है. I have done lot of good. What have you done? Every time a child came to the door, I gave $2 and I took the receipt. And to help my child, one day I bought the entire charity book. How much? $20. I gave lot of charity. It will not help you there. It will not help you.
Swamiji, Papa Punya or whatever those dualities, they are also just a thought, isn't it?
Exactly.
Doesn't exist.
Exactly. Papa and Punya is also only a thought. Just understand, everything in this creation that you can think about is only a thought.
It's a thought. Yeah.
Is only a thought. To think is pap, and to not think and remain awake without going to sleep is punya. If you want to put it that way. Or another higher level, whether you think or you don't think, be the unaffected one. That is the ultimate.
No ownership. Yeah.
Exactly. Where is the bad things done? At night. When are good things done? In the daytime. So day is good and night is bad. From sun's point of view, both don't exist.
But that again is a thought, isn't it, Swami?
No, we are explaining the principle. You are going into, that is also a thought. The reason you are making that statement is because you did not apply the principle subjectively. That's why. That your attention is still on the world. Your attention is still on to work out everything in the mind. When I say from the sun's point of view, there is no day and night. In other words, from self point of view, there is no duality.
Yes.
From divine point of view, there is no duality. Immediately you should be able to translate that in that way. That will be subjective approach. So if you do not pay any heed to what I say, you will have to face dreadful torments of a living death. कभी भूख लगती है, कभी प्यास लगती है, कभी प्रेशर आता है, कभी कॉन्स्टिपेशन होता है, कभी डायरिया हो जाता है, continuously. If the hair is grown, you have to get a haircut. If the hair is not growing, again a problem. Ganja ho raha hai. You buy a best car, new car, few days it is working. Sometimes it breaks down in the first week only. Sometimes it goes for some time. We think this continuous engagement in the world is healthy. And we use the words rolling stones gather no moss. Moving water does not stagnate. What have you done to move? What is your contribution to it?
Nothing.
Have you given any contribution to grow from a single amoeba, single cellular organism to this big Rakshas? This Bakasur khata rehta hai din bhar. What a contribution have you given to make your nails grow or your hair grow or the hunger to come or the thirst to come or the pressure to come? What contribution have you made? Nothing. But we take that as real, that it is my life. Abbe, get out of this hypnosis. And instead, this is going to continue. The body will continue to change. The hair will continue to grow. The eyes will continue to blink. The hunger will come and go away. Instead of becoming, I am hungry, I have to do this or I have to do that, bring your attention to the constant principle. If not, the previous verse, see the hand of the divine in everything. What did the verse say? Chetasa sarva karmani mahi sannyasya matparaha. See, it will lead to it will resolve everything. We are looking for solutions in the world, we will not get it. And this is the way. Remember, this is now Krishna Bhagavan, he is giving the synopsis of the entire Bhagavad Gita. He gave it in detail and now he is giving the main points. Just to reiterate, to reinforce the mind of the student. Just last few verses which we saw. These are all it's a what do you call? It's a summary. It's a reinforcement. It's a essence of everything. Because sometimes we have gone through Upanishads, we have gone through Bhagavad Gita here only. Now how many? 5-6 years we are going on. But in these 5-6 years, where is our mind? Is our mind on Karma Yoga? Is our mind on Bhakti Yoga? Is it on Dhyan Yoga? Is it on Vaishwanara Yoga? Is it on Akshara Brahma Yoga? Is it on Gunatita Yoga? So many different ways it was told, but there is a process. The entire thing was a process. There was lot of information given. Sometimes our mind can get boggled by that information. And many people come across to us and say, oh, that is too many words. Keep it simple. Simple. You are that. Ho gaya khatam. No, not that simple. No. Again, then we understand properly. Tattvamasi. No, that is too simple. That I know. They say, that I know. Then why are you asking if you know? If you are asking, then you have to go through this process. Then you have to study. Then you have to, as we are taking it, many times we have seen, I say, oh, something clicked, and suddenly studied Bhagavad Gita a few times, but still so many new things, the connections. Once upon a time, I used to think Kundalini is separate and Bhakti Yoga is separate and Ashtanga Yoga is separate and Gyan Yoga is separate. For many years, didn't, or maybe I knew that it is all one, but how it is one, I didn't know. I couldn't articulate it also. If someone asks, no, it is one, don't ask me silly questions. It is one. You just give one example. What is that? All the paths lead to the top of the mountain. How they are... But now it is crystal clear that every path is talking the same thing. So that came by continuous interaction with the Bhagavad Gita. Not wanting to search answers in there. No, Bhagavad Gita was helping us or is helping us to go to the source that we are. Give up the phenomenal. Phenomena means misery. Changing means misery. Constant means solution. Divine. Let's read the next verse and conclude. Yadahankaramashritya na yotsya iti manyase mithyaisha vyavasayaste prakrutistvam niyokshati. Together, yadahankaramashritya na yotsya iti manyase mithyaisha vyavasayaste prakrutistvam niyokshati. It is more about egoism. Let's leave it for next class. So, हो गया ना टाइम? हाँ, perfect. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Sit quietly for